In this video, we will step through the new list wizard. Where I left off previously was I've just installed the plugin, I've entered my Twilio information and saved my changes. Now I should be able to go to the new list wizard and set up my first list. So the list name is for your purposes only, and no one else will see this unless you grant access to a client. But in this case, we could make something up. Okay, and so you just name it something meaningful. And if you have more than one list for a particular client, you could have, weekend specials, or weekly specials, or lunch specials, or just describe it however makes sense to you. Now, if I go into the next step, which is creating a client, if you wish. Now, I recommend creating a client and using Twilio sub account. And the reason for that is when you do that, you can easily turn off a client that maybe isn't paying, or if a client you don't have that client anymore, you can easily turn off their entire account and you won't be charged anymore for that. So it's kind of an easy way to manage clients. So I would recommend setting up a new client. So if you select new client from the drop down, you'll be given some options here, and you can go you can call the client something similar to the list. It really is up to you. And then the three options here are you can use the default or the main Twilio settings, which is what we just entered on the previous screen in the previous video, where we entered our main Twilio account. You can do that. However, I do recommend creating a sub account, which will, like I said, it will keep that separate from the rest of your account. You could also enter manual settings if you like. So if you want to override, if you want this client to have their own Twilio account, you could enter their settings here. But for now, let's just go with create sub account. And then if you want, you don't have to, but you can set a monthly limit. So whatever you enter here, this will be the messaging limit for this client. Now the next step is to choose a phone number. What we're going to do is select a new one. These are already in my account, this is why those are showing up, but I could do a search in my area for a phone number via area code. I could also enter, if I'm looking for certain digits or even letters, let's say you're looking for a number with the word text in it. You could search the entire United States, and 8398 is actually, where you see an 8398, that is actually the word text on the keypad. So you could have some fun with that. 632 text, for example, or 503 text. It'd be nice to be able to get in your own area code, but that might not be likely depending on what's out there. You could try something shorter and see what comes up as well. So for now, I'm just going to leave that blank and search for my own area code, and just pick a random number. Actually, let's try a couple of zeros maybe. Alright, so I'm just going to choose this one and move on to the next screen here. Now, keywords. This is what, when people text into your list, what they will actually be typing into their text message. So for Rick's Pizza Shop, it might make sense to text the word pizza. You could also have another keyword. You could enter as many as you want here, separated by spaces, and a keyword can only be a single word. So another trick is to make, if you have multiple lists on one phone number, which you can have. So let's say your pizza client, you assign them a phone number, and you have multiple lists. You have a lunch list, a weekend specials list, a dinner list, that type of thing. You might want one of them to be the default, or to work as the default list. So if someone sends in a keyword that doesn't match any other list, you want them to default to this list. So if you add the keyword default, that will make this list the default. Okay, text to speech. Now I can enter something here, for example, so whatever I type in here will be synthesized, a computerized voice. Thanks for joining our Pizza VIP Club. Keep in mind this a computer is reading this, and although it does sound pretty good, you do want to test it, because if you typed in VIP without the spaces, it might give a different result than you would expect. The computer might choose to read it as VIP versus VIP. But I don't know that off the top of my head, but just something to be aware of. Okay, and then of course you could go longer on this message. Pretty much as long as you want. I would keep it down to less than a minute. Now in the audio, you can also instead, if you want to record an audio, you can do that as well. So I could, if you supply an audio file here, it will override any text you enter up here. So I can go into the WordPress upload function, and then I could browse to a file, an MP3 file. And so I could select Rick's Pizza here, and it will automatically upload. And when it does, you'll see it listed here. And to insert, what you need is this URL here. And all you need to do is click Insert into Post, and it will automatically insert this URL into the field. Okay, so this means that not only could you upload a file to your website this way, but if you have a file that's on the internet or a website elsewhere, if you have the URL to that file, you could enter that here. Another great feature of the call to subscribe is that you can transfer people to another phone number. So if in your message you would prompt people, you could say press 1 to order a pizza now, for example. So when people call and they press 1, actually they can press any number 0 through 9, and it will transfer to this whatever phone number you enter here, as long as you have one. So in your recording, be sure to mention that. That is, if you want to use that feature. Now moving on to the messages, we're going to type in a few messages here real quick. I want to pause the video while I do that. Okay, so I've entered a few messages here for demonstration purposes, but you'll see that there are 4 different messages. The first message is for brand new subscribers, people that have never joined this particular list before. So this gives you the ability to give them a special offer of some sort, knowing that they will only get this offer once, no matter what. Now, you can't stop it if they have a second cell phone, their wife has a cell phone, their kids have cell phones, whatever. But this will track on a per cell phone basis, or per mobile number basis, so that people can't scam the system. They can't keep texting in and getting this special offer over and over again. They will only get it once. Now, what you enter into all these fields is up to you. You might enter that special offer in all of these, but in most cases you're going to want a different message on the first one. So in this case, we're giving them free breadsticks, and we're setting an expiration date of 3 days out. Note that there is a special merge field that you can use with the square brackets, date, colon, and then a number. In this case, it'll insert a date automatically 3 days from now. So when they get their message, they won't see date colon 3. They're going to see a date that's 3 days into the future, and that's an expiration date. So you set this up once, and whenever the person hits this, so if they join your list next week, they're going to get an expiration date that's 3 days after that. You could also do things like come in between, date 1 and date 3, or date 1 and date 2, and for a special offer. That is something restaurants use so that it has a quick turnaround, a quick expiration date. They have to come in. They can't, if you set a between date, so between date 1 and date 3, that means they can't use the coupon immediately. They have to have a return visit to use it. So actually Groupon, I believe, uses something like that where you can't use the Groupon that day. Some of these things do some things like that to help the business owner out. But anyway, the last thing is you want to end your message with how to get off the list. And notice my spelling here, RPLY, and then stop pizza to cancel, again without an E. We found that in particular Verizon will filter out messages that if you just said reply stop to cancel and spelled it out, it would be filtered by Verizon. So we tweaked that a little bit so that it can make it through to the subscriber. Also note that I used a keyword here. On a previous screen, I used a keyword pizza here. So now when I go back to messages, I want to specify. I mean, you don't have to do this. Really, the only time you need to specify a keyword is if you have multiple lists that use the same phone number. So if they next week let's say they're on 2 lists for this client, they're on a lunch list and the pizza list or the dinner list, and they send the keyword stop. There's no way to know what list they want to stop from, so they get removed from all the lists. This is a good reason to kind of have one list per phone number, so keep that in mind. Now if they reply stop pizza, I know that they only want off this particular list, the pizza list, the keyword. So that's why that's there. Okay, now to the second message, which is a current subscriber. This is for someone that's already on the list. They've gotten the new subscriber message once already. They're still on the list. They send the keyword pizza again for some reason. Maybe they're trying to see if they can get those free breadsticks again. And but instead they get a reply that says something different. In this case, I just said thanks for being on Rick's Pizza VIP list. The third message is for what I call re-subscribers, people that have unsubscribed because they texted the word stop and they got off the list, and now they are actually texting the keyword pizza again, so they're getting back on the list. And but because they've been on the list before and they already got the special message or that special breadsticks offer, I want to welcome them back, but I don't want to really offer anything else at this point because people could take advantage of that. So I will send out, I'll use the broadcast messages to send out special offers during the week, but this time they're not going to be able to game the system by getting off, getting back on, and that type of thing. And then finally, the unsubscriber message. Now, if they reply with stop pizza, meaning I know that because they supplied the keyword pizza, I know that this is the list they're unsubscribing from, I can send them a specific response as a confirmation they're off the list. So we just say, we're sorry to see you go. Reply pizza anytime to get back on Rick's Pizza VIP list. Okay, and that pretty much covers the all the various messages here. So let's go on to the last step, which is to to go ahead and confirm. Now, if for some reason let's say I forget to enter a field, you'll see that I got a little red X or red triangle with the X in it. And if I go to try to submit the list, it'll tell me I have to correct that. So let's go back over here, type that back in, and go back over to confirm, create my list. So when it's done, it redirects me to the list that I just created. So you now see that we're in SMS list, and I'm on the Rick's Pizza Shop list, and here's all the information I entered. The keywords I entered: pizza, default, there's the phone number, there's the text-to-speech I had entered, there's the audio file, there's the transfer number, and there are some more options here that are not part of the wizard, but you can set those up at any time as well. So for now, I'm going to leave that and come back in another video to go into more detail about the other features here. But that's how the wizard works. It gets you set up and running quickly, and without hopefully with getting all the proper setup so that things run smoothly and quickly for you.